So the book that completely changed the course of my entire life, bro, is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I really hopped on here today because I really wanted to share with y'all the one book that completely changed my life. And when I say changed my life, to make it clear, it completely changed my way of thinking. It changed the way that I view the people around me and the things that I had going on in my life. And in this video, I'm going to walk y'all through each of the 7 habits, just a quick little summary of each, and pretty much just go over how they changed my life and the way that I perceived these things and took them in. The first habit that was mentioned in the book was be proactive. And for me, it's really opened my mind up because I've always been semi-proactive, but in the book, it went into depth talking about how it's better to be proactive rather than reactive, and really just prepping yourself and making sure that you're ready for anything that can come up in life, because you truly don't know. But when you're proactive, you're prepared, and you have yourself in the right mental space in order to deal with whatever it is that may pop up in your life. And this truly gave me a sense of clarity, knowing that whatever did happen in my life, I was going to be physically and mentally prepared for it, because I'm not choosing to do things last minute, or I'm not choosing to allow certain opportunities to come into my life and simply not be prepared for them. Really just understanding the importance of preparing yourself mentally and physically so that you can get the result that you want out of your life. The next habit is begin with the end in mind. And for me, this one totally hit different because I've always been the type to think about the future and try to plan for the future. But when you really dig deep and you dissect what's going on in your life and try to prep for the end, or at least get a general idea of how you want the end to look, it starts to make the present and the things that you're doing today a lot easier and a lot more clear, because you understand where your end goal is. And for example, if you're living your life, let's say you want to be a physical fitness coach or something, you understand that in order to get to your end goal, which may be to be certified and to have clients and things like that, you understand that today and tomorrow, for the present days, you need to train, you need to put the right things in your body so that you can get the most out of what you have going on. And the same applies in this, just really understanding that once you begin with the end in mind, then you have a clearer direction of where you want to end up. The third habit is put first things first. And what I got from this is that you need to learn how to prioritize. The most important things should be done first, I believe, in your day. So I tend to wake up and I knock all the important things out before noon. Usually I'll wake up, go to the gym, do my studies, record my videos, brainstorm ideas for my brand and do things like that before I even get into other things like leisure time and just hanging out and visiting friends. Those things literally come last. So once you learn how to properly prioritize, it'll just kind of set you up for success better, because you're doing the things that actually matter in the first half of the day. So later during the day, you don't have to worry about it. That's why I don't push the gym off until 10 p.m. because I don't know what's going to happen during the day. I may not even physically feel like going to the gym at 10 p.m. But if you take care of what you need to when the day is starting, then you don't have to worry about those things later. So this one was a huge one for me. Okay, the fourth habit is think win-win. And what this simply means is that we need to view life as a cooperative area rather than a competition. And if we think of it as that, as teamwork, as two people or a group coming together in order to get a bigger result, then even at times where we may quote unquote lose, it's not a loss. In every loss, there's some form of knowledge or something that you can gain from it. And I touched up on this briefly in one of my other videos, bro, but you should never think of a loss as an actual loss. You're supposed to take in the lessons that you learned behind the loss and then use those things in order to do better and be better next time. Okay, and the fifth habit mentioned in the book, bro, is seek first to understand, then to be understood. And for me, this one was extremely challenging because I tend to have my mind set on certain things and it's kind of hard to shift it. So if I'm going into a situation and I'm not seeking first to understand, then in a way, I've already made my mind up and my mind is already hindered to what could have possibly actually happened. And when you do stuff like this, bro, it just makes it much harder for people to relate to you. It makes it much harder for people to understand you and to really feel like you're there for them, because they understand that you don't take the time to understand. You don't take the time to listen. You take the time to, pass judgment are to just put out your thoughts rather than just listening and taking everything in for what it is. And not only does this apply to life, bro, this applies to like relationships and everything. And even in the corporate world, bro, you have to seek first to understand and then to be understood. You have to take in knowledge, you have to take in things that you can learn, and then you can give your opinions and, seek to be understood. But this one specifically probably had one of the most impacts on me because I never really thought to actually take things in what people are saying. And most people don't, bro. Most people just go on rants and they don't give people time to thoroughly explain themselves because they may have already have their mind made up and they're just not open-minded. And that's really what it ties into, bro. But once you do that shift mentally and you allow yourself to be more open-minded, it'll be a lot easier for you to do what you can do to understand the next person before giving your opinions or passing any judgment at all. Okay, the sixth habit that was mentioned in the book, bro, was synergy. And what synergy is pretty much the combination of two things in order to get a greater result. So when you put two things together, they have to produce something greater than just that one specific thing would have produced. And I really like to compare this to like a relationship because, everyone could be good on their own, but let's say somebody finds their soulmate and then they're just like that yin and yang and they just go together and they're able to produce, they're able to build a family and have kids and do other things. That's a form of synergy. And I always like to view the world as a big opportunity and as a big outlet for us to be able to synergize, because if we do things right, if we allow ourselves to network and allow ourselves to grow and expand, then there's so many different ways that we could synergize as humans and even as individuals up until we get to that point where we're united and actually synergizing with other people in the world. Okay, and the last habit that was mentioned in the book, bro, is sharpen the saw. And what this means to me is that you take the resources and the things that you have available, bro, and you actually use these. You're taking the time to enhance the assets that you have. So many times in life we get caught up in what we don't have and what we may quote unquote need, but we don't see the potential in the things that we have, bro. This discourages us and it makes us not want to push forward. And even sometimes in relationships and homes, bro, like just because you have a broken home, it doesn't mean that it can't get better. It doesn't mean that you guys can't expand and can't grow. It's just a matter of what you want to do. But we definitely could take the resources and the tools that we have available and enhance these to get a greater result. It just totally depends on our mindset and what we actually want at the end of the day. But if you made it to the end of the video, man, I appreciate you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all boys on the next one. Peace.